Hello, folks. Just had an allergy attack, so forgive me if I sound bad. It's windy outside. There's bad wind, bad snow. Looks terrible out there. I feel terrible. Let's do some writing. Probably best to feel tip-top when you're writing, but you know, if people could just decide they want to feel good, they would. It's probably why so many people use illegal substances. You didn't... Did you get religion on me, Nina? Did you get religious? Did you find God, Nina? Harnish asked frankly. Frankly, sounding already fed up with Nina. Judgment. Judgmentalness? Is that a word? I'll add it to it. Perhaps I did. Is that a problem? Yes. Back. You evil types. You're always... We always stand against religion. Because you don't want to end up in hell. Harnish fared hell about as much as a horse feared long pants. I don't fear hell because it's bullshit. It isn't real. Applied. None of it is real. It's all bullshit. All the religions. I should check and see if he is religious. Though Harnish seems like the kind of person that even if he was religious, if you were calling him a bad person on religious grounds, he'd probably claim to be unreligious just because. Just because to win the argument and all that. Adopt a completely different point of view. Now this is real. It's all bullshit. All the religions. Harnish knew that. Now from an early age. But none of his prayers to God were ever answered. Even the most minor one. God could create the universe, all the planets, all the species on it. We can't materialize a pack of gum or a bottle of soda, or a boy who has devoted himself utterly to God. And if God did all kinds of miracles in the good book, why were there none done in the present? Why was the modern world so short on miracles? These are questions I think that even religious people should ask themselves because, well, these are valid questions. How come there's a miracle every 5 minutes in the Bible, but in real life you never see a miracle? At least not a miracle that is like a burning bush or someone miraculously healed or anybody raised from the dead. Any miracles happen can be explained. Anything people consider a miracle today, it all can be explained. All explained by rationality. Hopefully I didn't alienate any religious people here. I want to write stories for all people, religious and otherwise, and I do think religion does still have a purpose in our world. Like, morality speaking, people should follow. Even if you don't believe Jesus is the Messiah, you should still look to his teachings for guidance, I think. All that stuff about rich people not getting into heaven. Rich people should die penniless. I do devote myself to God. God. And I didn't want to stay with you around sinners. I fear they would drag me down with them. I feared they would drag me down with them. I don't think God is supposed to condemn good people. People for association with evildoers. Evil people, Harnish replied, kind of admitting that he was evil. He supposed he had to be. Would be delusional to think he was good. Good people usually don't end up in the electric chair. Speaking of which, Lena seemed oblivious. I guess that he was supposed to be dead. Perhaps news of his execution didn't travel to Europe. He had been executed back in 43. At that time, there were plenty of other big stories going around in Europe. It's 43, right? I think I might even play it was 39. If it was 49, if he was executed in 40, then how come he didn't serve in World War III? There was plenty of time he could have been killing Nazi officers. Sorry, Nadim officers in this universe. Nadim, that's what they're called. Not nudists. Europe wasn't conquered by an army of nudists in 1940. Let's see. Plenty of other big stories going on. I think Nadim is a Middle Eastern word, but I'm not sure. It might be one of the, might be a boy's name. I'm not sure. I haven't spent much time on Arabian names, at least in this story, because I haven't really read a story with a lot of Arabian characters since a part of a story I did last year that was involved Turkey, the Middle East, and maybe Persia, Iran, Iraq. Harnish continued. And if you do evil on your own, that's on you. Harnish noted. There's a thing called free will. People can do whatever they want in this world, be good or evil. That is directly. There's a line, practically from the Bible. That God gives us all a choice as to how to live. Right. Agreed. I didn't want evil to affect me. So I left. Gave it all up. Surprised you ended up a maid. Maid instead of a nun. Lena Harnish replied. You know, Harnish thought of the bloody fallout after Mina vanished. People, he thought at first she was kidnapped, so he rounded up a bunch of enemies. His enemies, and so he rounded up a bunch of his enemies and tortured them. When he found out Mina was in Europe via a letter she'd mailed to him. So her father so that's a critical thing to leave out, because if I just said he instead of her father, then that would be like Parnish did it. Trying to blame her, like at first she was kidnapped, so he rounded up a bunch of his enemies and tortured. He didn't let them go. He killed them instead. And started a mob war that kept Parnish busy. Parnish busy for a few months, a few autumn months. The setting was it was called the Autumn War by the press. Also, there was the matter of what happened to those two loots that Mina's father sent to Europe. Find her. You know, Mina, when you went missing in Europe, your father sent two guys to find you, Parnish noted. When they came back empty-handed, he had them killed. Mina looked disgusted. Trying to blame that on me? Mina asked. Clearly I have no influence. Clearly I had no influence on my father when I was with him. Or he would have put aside into my pleas to leave crime behind. Parnish thought, if your dad listened to such advice, he would have ended up whacked or in prison. His crime family was Did you get the contract on those two men? Mina asked. What? No, Parnish replied. He actually knew the guys responsible for the contract. He didn't know the details. The two guys' loots vanished. I think loot in mob talk is capo, but I'm not sure these days. It's been a while since I wrote any stories with a mafia theme. In fact, I haven't wrote any that are just focused exclusively on the mafia. The mafia are always like side characters in my stories. I have them in a bigger role in one of the other stories I'm working on, but you know. It's kind of funny how the gangsters usually are just like little things next to the main villain in pretty much every story I've read. The only stories where they're not are like The Godfather, where they're kind of like the good guys, or at least the viewpoint character. I guess they would be villain protagonists or something. Let's see, where is I? They say have them blind. two loot vanished, and it seemed unlikely they were living it up on some island paradise with luau girls serving them drinks. Luau? Is that what you spell it? Luau. Yeah, I think that's it. Luau. There's these Hawaiian words so hard to spell. Hawaii itself is hard to spell. When the imperialists conquered it, they should have just called it Conquered Land. We declared this island America Island. I really don't know much about the full story of Hawaii, except that it was, I don't think the indigenous people there are too pleased with all the foreigners that live there, like the Americans, Japanese. They used to have a queen too, I think. Where do you kill? Let's see, I don't need to kill. How would my father reacted if he knew we were lovers? Mina asked. Mina's becoming a bit more insufferable than I thought she would be. I guess it would be better if you pictured like some femme fatale, Laura Bacall type, in her place. Someone like her could get away with being this sassy without being considered, I don't know, bitchy. I'm sure that's considered a misogynist term these days. And I guess it is. But I still hear people call women that term, even in stories from Hollywood, where they're supposed to be very, very progressive. Of course, this story is set in 1948, and so calling a woman bitchy back then was probably something a husband could get away with it. Not so today. He'd probably get his balls taken off with a scissors or something, or he'd definitely be in the doghouse till he did some grand gesture to make up for it. Let's see, how did my father react if he knew we were lovers? You know how he would have reacted. Harnish retorted instantly, which is why you didn't tell him. Revealing our relationship would have been giving me a death sentence, which you deserve. Mina, what you deserve, Mina replied. This conversation wasn't going how Harnish imagined it would. He imagined reunion with Mina being a lot more like something out of those romance movies. Something with maybe a bit of sass back and forth, but a lot more kindness, and certainly no contempt. Leave it to life to subvert your expectations. I'm signing off here, folks. I'm worried someone's gonna barge in and interrupt this running session. Just back and forth, back and forth. It was an hour from now, the house will be dead silent, so you know. Okay, folks, see you later. Have a nice day.